Hi, welcome to Gaming It Alone, and thanks for joining me. If you like Tetris, if you're a fan of the old game of Tetris, you're going to love the game that we're going to talk about today. So for anybody who hasn't played Tetris, I have to ask, where have you been? That game's been around since the 80s, and it's come with or been introduced to just about every system ever since, with the latest version being Tetris 99. So today's game plays very similarly to Tetris, but with a little bit of a twist, and that is Alice's Garden. And Alice's Garden is published by Goliath Games and was designed by Equan Kwan. Now, Board Game Geek gives this a rating of 7.2. I give it a rating of 10. I really, really enjoy this game. It is a lightweight game. The instructions are very simple. And again, if you played Tetris, you'll know how to play this game. There's just a couple of little pieces that give it a little extra strategy. And I'm going to show you a playthrough to show you how it works. Again, very simple game, a lot of fun. So Alice's Garden, it says it plays in about 30 minutes. I think that really depends on how quick you are with the tiles. I can usually get a game through in about 15 minutes. It is 1 to 4 players. So if you do, this, as I said, I'm a solo gamer. But if you do have friends and family who will play games with you, unlike mine, then you can go ahead and play with them. So the instruction book, very, very simple. I mean, it is just a few pages long, and it mostly tells you tile placement, and really the most part of it is scoring and victory. Now, this is a game where you are playing against your last score. So some people prefer that, some people don't. I don't mind it because I will take my scores and look for averages and stuff. I'm a statistics geek, so I like to do that and compare against other games. There are your 4 basic shapes, and they come in bags. So you've got the L, you've got the T, you've got the Z, and you've got the straight line. Now and you have the square. There is one other type of tile that comes in this, and that is a small square. This is this tile you don't play with immediately. You earn this tile as a bonus. And it's a great tile to have, but it can also count against you if you have too many. So you put this off to the side, and you pull out your play cards. So this is it. This is the play card. As you see, doesn't take up much space. The whole game, this is about as much space as you really need for it. And the way it works is you pick a shape. It can be any of the shapes. We'll start with a square. Pull out one at random, and both sides are the same. You see there's chess pieces here. There is a card who is a gardener, and there's a tree on this one. The chess pieces score when you put them on this path, the chessboard. So we'll go ahead and put them there. Now, if you get 2 gardeners together, you get one of these bonus squares. And the bonus square can be used to fill in anywhere that you need something. The trees are going to score based on how many you have on, or how far apart they are on a row. And then you'll have mushrooms that score based on the column. So let's go ahead and you only do for each round, excuse me, you only do one of each shape. So we'll do the line shape next and pull this out. I've got a mushroom, a gardener, a tree, and roses. Now roses you want to build in blocks. The more roses you have, the better your score will be. You can rotate these into any direction. Again, just like with Tetris. I'm going to rotate it this way. I now have 2 gardeners together, so I can grab one of these spare tiles, which is a tree. So I will hold off on this tile until I need it later to fill in. You move that bag, pull out your next one, and again, these can be in any order. So I've got a gardener, I've got 2 mushrooms, and I've got some roses. So I'm going to put this up here to build my roses. And I may have just made a mistake, but we'll see. When you're scoring, as I said, you do lose points for having extra little squares like here, but you also lose points for having open spaces. So now I'm going to reach into the T and pull out a card. I've got rose, a gardener, tree, and a mushroom. Let's see, where do I want to put this? I think I will put this next to the gardener and get another square, because that's going to help me fill in where I've got, and I got another tree. It's going to help me fill in here where I am going to have some spaces. Let's see, the L shape here gives me 2 chess pieces, a gardener, and a tree. So I'm going to want these chess pieces to go on here. As I said, you can flip it around if you need to, so we'll do it this way. So those chess pieces are going to score. Once you've gone through all of your bags, you've done a round, you pull the bags back. Once again, lost a line there. You can go through these in any order. So I could pick the squares next and go through and pick a square, which I think I started with last time, but I've got 2 roses and 2 mushrooms. So I will put those here. Oh wait, actually I will put the roses here. It's going to limit me on how many more chess pieces I can put in, but I do have a nice little row of roses. We're going to do a T next. Oh, and again, I'm losing tiles there. And you're going to reach in and pick. And again, I've got roses and a gardener and a tree. We'll put the roses right here and move that. Now I can do, let's see here, we'll do a straight line. See what we get here. And we have a gardener, we've got roses, and we've got 2 trees. So if I lay this here, then I get the gardener next to each other. I'm still growing my roses out, but I get an additional tile. And it's roses, so that's nice. I've played this. So now I will grab one of these L-shaped ones, and I will put it here just so I can fill it in and I don't have too many blanks. Put this back over there. Now I've got the Z shape, and I can already tell it's not gonna be the best ending for me here. I can't place any more of the bag tiles, which you can see. I just don't have the space for it, but that's why I have these tiles and I can fill in. So add into the roses, and we'll put a tree here, and we will put a tree here. So you pull out your instruction book and turn to the back, and you've got your scoring. Chess pieces, as you can see, they count for 5 points for each chess piece on the central path. I've got 4, so that's going to be 20 points. Roses count on each area, so squares that are orthogonally adjacent to each other. So squares that are adjacent to each other this way. And so this is nice because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 roses, 9 roses here. And for 5 squares, you get 25 points. And then the additional 4 squares, you get 16 points. Oh, sorry, areas of more than 5 still only count 25. So that's up to 45 points there. I've got 2 roses that are next to each other, so that's another 4 points. And if you have just 1 rose hanging out on its own, which I don't seem to have here, you still get a point for that. Mushrooms, you earn 8 points for each column with 2 or more mushroom squares. So this column would get 8 points. This column would get 8 points. These 2 would not. So that would be 16 more points, and that puts me at 51. Now, for trees, each row with at least 2 trees, you count the distance between neighboring trees if they have no other trees between them, including the squares with the trees, and write down the longest distance in each row. So if you have a row that has 3 trees on it, like this row, actually this row has 4 trees, you're only going to count the ones that have the longest distance between each other. So this one has 4, so you're going to get the points for that, and it's going to be 4 points. So that takes us up to 55. And this one has, this one also has 4, so that takes us up to 59. This one, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is going to take us up to 64. And that is all of the scoring. There's no trees on this row. So when you come to the very back, score results, under 70 points, you didn't please the queen. She is not happy with the garden. And I knew that as soon as I saw all these. Oh, and you also lose points. Forgot about that. So we're at 64, but for empty squares, you're going to lose 5 points per empty square. And if you have bonus tiles that we didn't use, then we would have lost 5 points for each of those. So we really, really didn't make the queen happy with this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 25 points off. That hurts. So as you can see, that's what the solo rule is. The solo rules, that they're not really much different than the multiplayer rules. So that is a full playthrough of Alice's Garden. Again, a very easy game. Does not take up much space at all, table space. It's, again, you could easily, as you can see, play this on a airplane tray table. Slide it into your carry-on bag. It's going to take up some space in your carry-on bag, but you got a game like this. Who needs a novel anyway? So definitely, it's a lot of fun. There is challenge to it, and trying to come up with the best shapes that you can get that will score you the most points. You do have to use all of your shapes in a round until you can't lay down more shapes. If you can't lay down more shapes, then you're done. I always like to try and get as many gardeners next to each other as possible. Get these little these little single tiles, so that way they can fill in, and I don't have as many empty spaces at the end, because as you saw, those are pretty brutal. Now, breaking down is almost as easy as setting up. You just take all your tiles and you are going to put them in the correct bags. Easy enough. Now, what I've found is that you don't necessarily want to cinch these bags up when you go to put them away, because then they don't fit in the box as well. You want to keep your bags as flat as possible in order to fit in the box the best way. So all of these, this does, and you can see I have used this. It does come with a score notebook. 2 pages for each notebook, for each page on the notebook, which is nice. You can easily take some of these and photocopy them, cut them down, and either not use this notebook or to enhance, have more pages. So all depending on how you like your games. If you like them completely pristine, then photocopy this and make some additional copies that you can use. If you're not quite as worried about it, use a few of them and then start making copies, so that way you don't run out. So everything goes right back into the box here. Put in my instruction book and start layering in the tile bags. And you'll see that once you get them layered in, They will fit perfectly, and you'll be able to put the lid on the box easily. If we had cinched them, you can see that it would not have fit into the box as well. We do need to tuck that. So boom, everything's in the box, and you are once again ready to go. Now, one of the other reasons I've given this game a 10 is there's just no sprawl to it at all. You have your bags and your board, and that's it. You could play this game on an airplane tray table, probably have room for both the bags and the game board. If not, you can set the bags in your lap and have the game board on the tray if you have your drink with you. It just doesn't take up space, so it's really easy. You take it with you to work, and you can play it right on your desk during your break or during your lunch. Not during the work hours. I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but it's just that perfect little compact game. The box is a little larger, and so it won't fit in your pocket like last week's Sprawlopolis and Ugly Griffin Inn, but it'll tuck into a bag pretty easily. And it can sometimes get repetitive, but you're drawing tiles randomly, so you do have that change and replayability. So thanks for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed this content. If so, please hit that like and subscribe button, and maybe even the little bell so you know when I put up another video. You can also join my Patreon at Gaming It Alone, or buy me a cup of coffee through at Gaming It Alone. All the funds that I get, they roll right into the channel. Now, the one other thing I have to tell you is that I am an Amazon affiliate. So if you buy the game Alice's Garden through the link that I have below, I do get a little bit of that purchase. It's a tiny, tiny bit. But I do get some of that, and that does help the channel because, again, the money that comes in from you guys through Patreon, through buying a coffee, and through buying through the link, I roll right back into buying more games and getting better equipment and really improving the channel. So thank you all in advance, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.